nana ka maka ho'olohe ka pepeiao pa'aka waha.
Okay, you guys ready? And 1, 2, 3. Awesome, voting board.
Ready to go here this morning? Not everybody, I think. A couple of safety things. Please do not lean out the side of the bus at all. Hand, arm, leg, anything like that. The road's narrow. It's a little bumpy, so hopefully we'll take it pretty slow. Okay, so welcome to Kualoa Ranch. This is a 4,000-acre ranch. There's 3 land divisions that make up the Kualoa Ranch. This is the Kualoa Land Division, and then we have the Kualoa Valley, which is where we'll spend most of our time, and then also we have the Hawaiʻi Valley. So Kualoa is 622 acres, Ka'ava is 2,200, and Hawaiʻi is 1,100. So that makes up the 4,000 acres here at the Kualoa Ranch. There's a couple of bumps along the way in various spots. None of them are going to probably be more than about this bump we're going over right now. So I think everybody should be okay all the way through. So this, the Kualoa Ranch was originally purchased in 1850 by Dr. Jared Judd, who was a doctor and missionary that came over from New England, and he became a chief advisor to King Kamehameha, and so we'll talk a little bit more about him as the tour progresses. Now we're going to be going over several of these cattle guards. The first one coming up around the corner here, and that'll get us started. Now we're going to talk a little bit about history, culture, and then a lot of different movie sites that we're gonna go by. So let's get across this first is on the National Registry, so this with the structure that's left cannot be torn down at all. So it's made up of lava rock and then crushed up coral. And then, oh boy, you can see they're moving looks like they're moving the herd, some of the herd of cattle here. And as long as we're right by them, I'll let you know there's over 600 head of cattle at any given time on the ranch. Excuse me, just a minute. I gotta get my sunglasses out. And there's 3 different types of cattle. As you can see, we've got the red and black Angus, the Hereford, and then the white Sharp. 600, give or take, head of cattle we have. So they didn't do very good with the sugar mill because of the hot and dry weather here, and then of course the salt from the ocean. So they only had a sugar mill in existence for about 8 years, and then they just for you if you like. So I'll get up here, get parked, and let you guys off, and you can go ahead and go in the bunkers. Then, you know, we'll be here 10 or 15 minutes total, and then we'll get on with the rest of our tour. So. I'll go ahead and drop you off here. I'll get off and let you guys just follow me down, and then I'll pick you up on the other end.
That's my kind of disaster preparedness.
and they decided to rob a South American drug lord. And their helicopter crashed because the weight of the money was too much, and they were along the Andes Mountains. Here's a placard of the cliff that they lost a mule on. The mule went down 2,000 feet. That was filmed, a lot of that movie was filmed right here. Of course, the mountain here is real, but this is the 2,000-foot cliff that was seen in that movie. Of course, you can see this is still 2,000 feet, but that's Hollywood magic, right? So the mule only came down about 2 feet in that film. So that's Triple Frontier. Now it looks pretty real, this little cliff that they made, but it's actually made out of styrofoam and plywood, little chicken wire, and then it was all painted to make it look as real as it does. So that was filmed in Triple Frontier. So now I'm sure all you guys came down the Kamehameha Highway when you got to the Kualoa Ranch today. That's 68 miles of highway that goes around the island, and it's the only road that goes around the island, and it goes out to the North Shore. And this area right in here is called Rainbow Beach. Reason being is in the winter, a lot of the skiers are out here, or the surfers are out here, and in the winter there's a lot of rainbows here when it rains all the time. Sorry for the squeaky brakes on this bus today, you guys. Hopefully you can hear my narration. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, good. Okay, so the North Shore, there's the most beautiful beaches out there in all of Oahu. There's Turtle Bay, Sunset Beach, Waimea Bay, and Haleiwa. They have a lot of really good food trucks out there, and from here all the way out there. Has anybody tried shaved ice since they've been here on the island? Shaved ice? Okay, there's a couple people. There's the place. So now we're gonna go by. There'll be coconut trees. We're gonna go by and Maya, which is banana, and that's apple banana that you're gonna see over in these banana trees over here. And then this big fruit that you see to the right, kind of looks like a big melon of sort. That is ulu. That is breadfruit. Anything you can do with a potato, you can do to breadfruit. Let it get super ripe. Put it in the oven. Smells like bread. Tastes like a potato though. So let's see if I can point out. There's a bunch of bananas hanging on right to the right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Those are apple bananas, 10 times sweeter than the average banana that you see today. So the A-frame hale is a hale baja, and it's always there's a bunch of bananas hanging here also to the right, closest to that hale there. The A-frame type hale is always used to store canoe in, so they didn't have to carry them so far. Yeah, several bananas in Maya in those trees there as well, along with the ulu breadfruit and the coconut. So those are what we call a Hawaiian village. Teepees. That's where Samuel L. Jackson was trying to destroy Kong, and they CGI'd in a big lake right there, and then Samuel L. Jackson stood up on top of that rock, lit those two teepees on fire, and tried to take out Kong. Well, we know that didn't work too well, but this is where that was filmed at. Also, those rocks over there, they're not really rocks at all. Those are what I talked Hollywood magic. That's styrofoam, plywood, chicken wire, and then painted to make it look as good as it does. So that's one movie set that we go by. Now here's a couple other things in these ponds. There's goby, and then up here there's catfish, and another hale you can see over there. So ponds, 3 ponds in here, and raises Malaysian shrimp, and then he takes those to market. So he rents these ponds. So you can see here the ulu. Let me see if I can point out. If you see kind of a white sap that comes off of these ulus, that is they used to use that white sap to glue their canoes. It's a real sticky substance, so it was good for back in ancient Hawaii. Here's a good example of it. This one right here, of the the name in Hawaiian for papaya? No, nobody knows? It's papaya. So, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about is our piggery here. This is our piggery. And if you look at the building here, this was a film set in the movie Jumanji. Welcome to the Jungle, when Ruby Roundhouse was trying to distract the guards in the transportation shed. And we repurposed this. This isn't where that movie set was. Yeah, I'll point out the area in another, on down the way here a little bit. But what we did is they left this transportation shed, and so we repurposed it. So if something's left here and we can use it, we do. So the piggery, usually when you go by a piggery, it smells pretty bad. If you take a big smell in, no smell, hardly at all. Can you guys smell anything?
Oh yeah.
Huh? Not much, huh? This is what we call a living floor. So what we do is we dig down 4 to 6 feet and put bark and leaves and, off of the trees and whatnot, and microorganisms, and the waste goes down through the living floor, and it does away with the smell, and also it helps with all the flies. So it's kind of, we got this method from Korea. They do it over there, and we followed it. It's microorganisms put in there, and so the mama just had some little piglets. Let me pull by her. Little piglets. He's looking for some milk there. So she got up to 13 little piglets at a time, and there's mama, and then in the middle is the medium-sized little pigs, and then Daddy Papa, he's in the back. So you can't have bacon without having eggs. So this is our hen house over here, also to the right. And these girls lay about 8 to 9 eggs per week. So all of the stuff that we grow here and raise here can be bought in our market Thursday through Sunday. And then along with the eggs, there's brown, white, and even blue eggs. So, does anybody know what grows over here on these trees? Anybody? This is cacao. Does anybody know what cacao is used for? Chocolate. If you look, you can see the pods. So one pod makes one chocolate bar. So we actually we pick those pods, and we take them to a factory in Kailua. They make our chocolate bars for us. So our chocolate bars is dark chocolate and milk chocolate. Oh, delicious as well. Aloha! So as we come around, if you guys want to buy those chocolate bars in our market or also in the visitor center. This is our aquaculture center, where they come in every morning and decide what they're going to do, who goes where, and every day. And we're going to come by the shade house here, where they grow starters for a lot of plants and trees, and then they go into the ground. Of course, if anybody knows this cactus looking plant right there, that is dragon fruit. That is a fruit. So, of course, there's pineapple here as well, and then a lot of more. There's about 350 cacao trees on property. This fruit over here is the noni. It's actually an antiseptic. It's going to be used as an antiseptic. And then, of course, you can see all that dragon fruit in there that we're under our shade house. So that's about it for the aquaculture area. And I'm sure you guys are all looking forward to going into Jurassic Valley. So welcome to Jurassic Valley. Now, if you look, this is the field that the Pinscour Jeep that you guys got in there at Battery Cooper came across this valley. Also, the mountains you see were used, of course, in the movie. And then that mountain that you can't see the top of it, that is Hui, 2,265 feet high. And it's these two mountains crashing together. They like to say made that mountain back there. I do want to point out the Moai statue. This was in a documentary from National Geographic. Before we go any further, they were trying to figure out how these Moai statues were moved, because on Easter Island they're super tall, about 3 times that size. That is actually not made out of styrofoam like a lot of the sets are here, but that's about 5,000 pounds. So that Pinscour Jeep, like I said, ran along this valley with gillimimuses running alongside of them. So you guys got to take a photo next to that. And then also along the Kualoa Mountains there was the monorail. That was all CGI'd in that movie. And but the monorail in Jurassic World. So now, if you guys, how many are Jurassic fans? Maybe half of you? Maybe? Okay. Well, if you remember Jurassic Park, the very first Jurassic movie, a lot of people think that was filmed here at the Kualoa Ranch. Actually, most of it was filmed in Hawaii. And what ended up happening is when a Category 5 hurricane went through there, it destroyed all the movie sets along with a lot of the island of Kauai during that storm. But what Steven Spielberg did was he knew enough to film the weather that was going on. So the weather that you see in Jurassic Park is really real weather, where it's when the hurricane was going on. So, but they hadn't quite finished that movie, so they were kind of in dismay because they needed to shoot a couple more scenes. So they decided to come to the Kualoa Ranch, and this is one of the most iconic scenes in that movie, where Dr. Grant and the Hammond children were on this hill, and they saw that the gillimimuses were going to charge them, so they took off running. And this is the hill that they ran down, right over here to the right. And they ran across the road here, and they hid under this big log. This log, of course, is the original log that was in that movie. And of course, over all the years ago, 25 or so years ago, it's deteriorated. But this is where all that was filmed. The hill, and then they ran and hid behind the log, and then of course the gillimimuses just kept running past them, and then the T-Rex came out of the here and attacked them. So this is where Jurassic Park, where that iconic scene was filmed, right here. So as we move on, the people who were Lost fans, up here, coming up on the right, you're going to see, remember when Hurley found the golf clubs, and he decided, I'll drive by kind of slow here, so the people on the right can see the big footprint of Godzilla. Now, of course, in the movie, Matthew Broderick stood in there, and they were a lot deeper, and the reason that they're filled in is because those cattle that I talked about, they kept falling in, so we had to fill them in because it was kind of dangerous for them. So 2 of them are here, and then the other 2 are on the left-hand side, the Godzilla footprints. Now, the American Godzilla, there's 3 toes, and if you ever watch the Japanese Godzilla, it's 5 toes. This was all an American, the American film was filmed here, so you can see the footprints over here on the left as well. Now, the next movie site that we're going to go by is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Anybody see that movie? Type structure with that cannon. That's just thick cardboard used to make it look like a cannon. Here's another shot of Triple Frontier. Now they had to crash land their helicopters because the money that they stole was so heavy that they couldn't get over the Andes Mountains. So that helicopter went down right in this field right here. In the village up there, there were brought in a 60-foot electronic gorilla that could run 60 miles an hour that ran through this whole valley. It's one of the only movies that actually didn't CGI computer generate their biggest creature. So they actually I was told that the gorilla could run 60 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. So that's kind of interesting. Now as we come along here, of course, there's another one of our cattle bars we go over, and then we're gonna go by a stream. Let's see if there's any water in this today. Oh yeah, there is. Good. We definitely needed the rain around here. So now this is a how tree we're going by. How tree is a beach hibiscus that you can see, of course, it's by the water. And the how tree was used for a lot of different things. They used it to burn, and then they used it to fish with, and they could use it for hula. They could make noise with the how tree as well. And then this light green leaf tree is the kukui tree. These are actually our state trees. And the kukui nuts were very oily, and if you guys know anything about the kukui nut, the oiliness could be lit on fire and used as a light source. So they were used in the movie Moana. Used kukui nuts, they light them on fire. Also, ancient Hawaiians used them as a laxative because of the oiliness. And then, of course, you break open that pot, and there's 2 or 3 kukui nuts in there, and it's what is used to make those kukui leis, those dark colored kukui leis that you see. Usually there's a turtle or some kind of landscape scene of some sort on those kukui leis. So the kukui tree, our state tree. We are going to go by another Hawaiian village. Now this one was probably set up for royalty, and depending on, because it was, you remember those other holidays didn't have any rock structure underneath them. So the rock structure depended on the how high up in the hierarchy you were, would be how high up your holly would be. As you can see, it's made out of lava rock. It's the rock by rock stacking method. This is probably for the chief because of the construction of it and how high up off the ground it is. And then, that was probably his sleeping quarters, and then maybe this one over here could have been where they prepared his food, and maybe this is where he ate the food. And that's all peely grass. That is what those hollies are made of. Now this this is an actual movie set. Everything we went by so far was movie sites. This is an actual movie set. It was used in Kong from Skull Island, and this movie, they shot a lot of this movie at night because they didn't want to have to pay to shut the whole ranch down. So welcome to the Boneyard in Skull Island. So we're going to be able to get out here at the Boneyard so you guys can walk around and take a look at all the bones. And there's a couple things I want to make you aware of. This movie was about 6 years ago, so the bones are take photos around anything that you see here. The log over here is there's a Jurassic Valley sign over there. You can get on the log, and you can also get on Mighty Joe Young back there. There's a big hand sticking out. You can sit in his hand, but everything else please stay out of. We'll take about 15 minutes here. I do have a dinosaur with me. If you want a dinosaur photo, I have a way of putting the dinosaur in your photo, so let me know. I'll be over there in just a minute as soon as everybody gets off. So you guys go ahead and everybody.
grabe dito, no? Parang hindi totoo yung ano, yung area na to.
Boys. Okay, okay. Come on, the three of you. No, don't. No. Take off your mask. Wow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do this.
Is he looking at me? It's hard for me to see because of the sun and stuff. Careful now. I can see this.
All right, just go. Ready? Take off your mask. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Nice, perfect.
As we wrap up the tour, take one last look at this valley. It's peaceful, massive, and unforgettable. It's easy to see why filmmakers keep coming back and why visitors leave in awe. If you enjoyed this tour of Jurassic Valley at Kualoa Ranch, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more travel and filming location vlogs. Let me know in the comments what movie would you want to see filmed here next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.